Hey, this is Marcus Wash, MTC Media here at Georgetown University. The Hoyas came back in town tonight after their 63-58 loss to St. John's last night. Third straight, and the third straight loss were in the second half. The Hoyas offense kind of bogged down. And a lot of it is that they have a short bench with all the injuries. Certainly Jaden Epps not being 100%. Hurts this team and hurt this team a lot. They also have, relatively speaking, small guards. And it seems like that Malik Mack and Thomas Sorber continue to be targeted over a 40-minute stretch. Now, I talked about this before, but it's worth saying again. It looks like what teams are doing to Georgetown now is they want to turn the game into a 15-round fight. And they're willing to give some of the early rounds away, and Georgetown gets out to a lead. They had a double-digit lead against Marquette. They had a double-digit lead last night. They did have a lead against UConn in that game, and they'll just say over 15 rounds, these guys will wear down. And that's what has happened. Over 40 minutes, this team has worn down. Now, I will give Georgetown this. When they run their stuff, they are getting to the front of the rim. They're not always making stuff. Yes, Sorber doesn't have to touch the ball more, but that's just something. Sometimes those type of things are on the coaching staff. So the reason I'm here at Georgetown today is because when they got back in town, had a chance to have media availability with Ed Cooley, and this is what he had to say.
Take us rehash last night.
Well, I thought our preparation was really good. I thought we played a really good zone. I thought we caused some havoc in it. They started attacking the second half. I still thought we had it balanced. Our Achilles heel has been turning the ball over in critical situations, right? We're going to make our free throws, make our layups, but the turnover conundrum is something we have to address. Probably have to extend our rotation a little bit more, right? But those guys got to be prepared to play. I thought they had some 50-50 balls they got. We got to put that one behind us really fast, right? Our defense has been really good. Our offense has been struggling because we're giving the ball away, right? We're holding teams to in the 30% from the floor. We're shooting 45 plus. So, if we take care of the ball, we'll find ourselves hopefully having a couple more wins.
In terms of the cough-ups, the giveaways, how do you drill that? Or can you?
I don't know if you can drill something. You have to value it, right? You have to value the ball. You have to protect the ball. You got to know where other guys on the floor are. You got to keep the ball moving. We only had 3 assists in last night's game, and that's a remedy for disaster unless the guy with the ball is really, really scoring it.
Was there some people trying to do too much by themselves?
Could be a combination of, and I don't think, because we play as hard as anybody. We play very hard. I think we're very selfless, and I think some guys just try to put too much on their shoulders, and that's where some of the mistakes are probably coming in. But we'll learn from it. We have to learn from it quick. These games are coming fast and furious.
Thomas's touches has dropped. Basically how teams have been playing. You have physical. Is there something that you can do as a staff to kind of open things up for him to get more touches?
There's no question about it. We talked about this yesterday. Thomas can't play 32 minutes and have 4 attempts. No, you got to credit the defense as well. Connecticut did a damn good job on him with the front and backside help, right? I even thought Xavier did a great job when we played Xavier fronting and backing. And then last night, same exact thing. But we got to find a way, whether it's earlier in transition, some of our design stuff. But again, throughout the course of playing a pick and roll, you got to be able to see it. We don't have any spoon-fed dunks or dump downs. But that'll be a conscious effort to see if we get him a lot more touches, not just a few more touches.
Did you think there was times last night that maybe you could have pushed the ball more and run more and played a little less half-court basketball?
Well, we tried to, and we had 10 first-half fast break points. The second half we fouled, right? We definitely tried to push the pace. That's our thing. We tried to push it, and again, some of the things hurting us too has been our injury, right? Epps going down is one of our primary ball handlers, our leading scorer. That hurts as well. Other guys trying to come in. We definitely tried to push the ball. Their transition defense was pretty good in the second half.
And you talked about expanding the bench just a little bit. I know Kayvon has been hurt and is working his way back. Do you think somewhere down the line that he could play himself into more minutes?
He as well as anybody. we got some injuries right now, so he as well as anybody got to be ready to play, right? I mean, I think opportunity will knock and they got to take advantage of it.
These Nova Wildcats are not the Rice Nova Wildcats. They play differently. How would you compare these guys versus the previous slow walk the ball up guys?
Villanova's a tough question. We played them on Monday. Honestly, I'm concentrating on DePaul.
Yeah, brain freeze.
I'm concentrating on DePaul. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Ron's focused on Villanova.
Fine, you got me for that one. You can ask me that one next week, but I don't even know what Villanova does right now.
Well, DePaul runs a lot of plays. You got to prepare for that.
Well, Coach Holtman's done a great job really instituting a different philosophy. They went overtime yesterday. They've had 3 Big East overtime losses. They were up 4 yesterday, under a minute to play, and then end up losing in overtime. They want to shoot threes. Their point guard leads the league in assists. They have a 5-man who could stretch, another 5-man who's a bully at the rim. You got to play them in transition. They want to play at great pace. Again, they're coming in. I mean, they're the best 0-7 conference team in the world, whatever their record may be. But again, you have a desperate team trying to get a Big East win. You have Georgetown trying to come off a 3-game losing streak. It should be a really, really good game at Cap One. I hope folks come out to support it. Good?
Thank you.
So Georgetown plays Friday night here at Capital One Arena. They have DePaul. Even though DePaul is winless in the Big East, they are definitely a different team under Chris Holtman. And you could tell by last night, they had Marquette. Marquette did the rights. Well, under a minute left, they were up by 4. They eventually fell to Marquette in overtime. So this is not your type of DePaul team that you have seen over the last few years under Tony Stubblefield. There are some similarities. They do want to push the ball up. They're going to push the ball a lot. They run a lot of actions to get the ball to their 3-point shooters. They are going to try to be physical at the rim. We're going to talk a little bit more about that when I'm doing my DePaul preview, but certainly Friday night's game is going to look different. So for Georgetown, it's one of those situations, sometimes when you're a favorite, it can be harrowing. You don't want to be the first team to lose to DePaul. I don't think DePaul has won a conference game in over 2 years. I think it's over 700 days. And you also want to break a 3-game losing streak. So this is a situation where you don't want kids turning into tight if this game is close, thinking, oh my gosh, we can't lose to DePaul. We've had these 3 tough losses, and all 3 of those losses have been tough. And then you get tight at the end. Right now, Georgetown's biggest impediment, I really do believe it is health. Not having Epps, and then Thomas has gotten banged up during some of these games. Against UConn last night, he also got banged up in that game too. So it's a lot of teams just taking their shots and wearing down Georgetown over 40 minutes. So that's our report here from Georgetown. I want to get out this cold. This is Marcus Washington, MTC Media.